is burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Welcome back, everyone, to our second SGL stream for tonight. Folks, this is our third last match of the whole season. Can you believe it? We have come so far, and all we have left are 2 more matches after this. Man, I'm just so happy to be here, and I can't wait to see both KC Cauldron and Los Verdes face off against each other for our final Consolation Tourney group stage match. So folks, we do have a couple of minutes until we kick off. So I just want to give you guys a quick reminder of where we are at for the standings at this time, just so we are all caught up and ready to go. I know it was just, like an hour ago when we last looked at this, but just as a quick recap, the top 2 is set. They're going to the grand final. It'll be Steel Army versus KC Cauldron. However, the final placements are not set in stone yet. KC Cauldron still has a chance of finishing as the top seed. So, if they win 2 games, at the very least, that's it. If they win 2 games, they seal the top spot for themselves, and that's it. We are all done with this Consolation Tournament group stage. What does the top seed get you in the grand final? I talked about this last night, but as a quick reminder, folks, the top seed gives you the chance to host your server for the final. So you get your preferred server region. Since KC Cauldron plays in US Central, if they were to finish at the top, the grand final will be played in US Central instead of US East, which is where Steel Army preferred to play. So that's what KC Cauldron have at stake here. As for Los Verdes, pride. That's pretty much it. I mean, they won 1 match up to now. And in all honesty, they probably want to win 1 match in this Consolation tournament as well. But with that said, if they don't, you know what? I think they'll still be fine. Because they've been in such good spirits about how this season has gone for them. They have fun playing together. And you know what? Depending on what trio they have out there, they might actually have a lot of fun playing, even if they don't get a good result. But that is where we are at right now, folks. We are just about ready to kick off. We're waiting for both teams to come in. And once both teams come in, we'll get started right away. So, for those of you who are here, we are going to set up a prediction. Yes, I did not forget. I was just waiting for as many people to come in as possible. Now's a good time to get the predictions going. Now, as I set this up, how do I predict this? Well, you know what? In all honesty, given how KC Cauldron have played, they've been solid. I mean, as you've seen in the group stage, they have not lost a match yet. However, in recent matches, they've kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal and they've not looked as strong as they should be. Against Emerald City Defiance, recently, they lost game 2, and Emerald City Defiance tied that match 1-1. Now, on paper, you would never expect that to happen. You know, you'd actually expect KC Cauldron to sweep the Defiance, but the Defiance took a game off of them, and they could have had 2 as well, but KC Cauldron really stepped it up, and they showed why they're such a strong team. Because of that, I think Los Verdes has a chance. Because, you know, this Los Verdes team, they've been getting better. Like EC Defiance and KC Cauldron, well, they're in the final. Do they really care about top spot? I don't know about that. I think they'll just be okay either way. And Los Verdes can get a game. I think they can get a game. Can they get two? I don't know about that. So I'm going to go 3-1 to KC Cauldron here. For those of you who have the chance to predict, go ahead and do so. If we don't get any predictions, I'm not going to bring it back up. We're just going to watch the match and have fun. Luis and Bear, welcome into the chat. Thank you guys for joining in. We are just about ready to go. Both teams are in. Once they start joining their teams, we will get started, folks. And there you go. Both teams are getting in? They are. Yes, they are. Okay, we are fine. Let's get started. As the clock ticks down, here we go. Game 1 between KC Cauldron and Los Verdes. Solid start from KC Cauldron right now. Los Verdes are looking a little bit nervous. They're sitting back. Great defensive challenge, though, from Palace. Strong on the air, strong in the air, and then a nice 50 on the floor as well. This Los Verdes team, if they're going to have a chance of winning, they need to have a solid defense. Not like that, though. The net was open, but the shot is off target. Smitty now coming in, trying to get a second touch. Cannot off the backboard, and Trigger tries to bring it out, but Thorngold keeps up the pressure. Yes, KC Cauldron are lined up with Thorngold, Serrato, and Smitty. And folks, that is a strong lineup. I worry for Los Verdes. I don't know if they'll even get a game. With that said, they do have potentially their strongest trio in Palace, Trigger, and Devin. Yes, Devin, who has been in and out this season, has recently started to play a little bit more, and he has looked very good. So let's see if he could help be the catalyst for Los Verdes as they get at least a game, if not a whole match, tonight. Serrato bringing it out to the corner. Big pinch off of that corner to the opposite side. Smitty just cannot get any control over that. Thorngold coming out, trying to get a shot. He can't get anything on that. Serrato tries to follow up, and it's been good offensive pressure from the Cauldron, but they're just not getting that shot on target. It's just when it comes to getting that end product, they've been a little bit sloppy, but maybe they'll settle down as they progress through this match. Devin getting an awkward clearance. This is looking bad for Los Verdes, but Palace comes in just in time to take the ball away from Serrato. Smitty with a nice bit of play right there. Nice control. Cannot really do much else beyond that. Thorngold tried to make himself, make his presence felt, but he just couldn't do much. And once again, KC Cauldron have the ball in front of the net, but they're just not able to get a shot on target. Thorngold with the best opportunity of the match, and he still couldn't get it on target. Oh, come on, guys. You're getting closer. Serrato off the ground. And finally, Smitty gets the first goal for KC Cauldron. Great bit of defending right there, but I think once the ball went on the floor, Trigger got dragged in towards it. Palace was already there. No one was on the backboard to clear the ball away, and Smitty just had the easy chance. He was able to tap it in to the back of the net. All of that defensive effort from Los Verdes, and they are now behind. What is their response going to be now? Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to concede a second. Devin, let's go, hoping for Palace to win that 50, but Palace needed to drop back. Trigger was there in the goal, but he was fooled by Smitty, who faked him off, and Smitty was able to tap it to the far side. 2-0. Smitty with a brace. And honestly, this is not the way Los Verdes wanted this game 1 to go. But there's still a lot of time. Los Verdes can still come back. This KC Cauldron team, though, is looking ruthless. Another open net. Thorngold this time gets the third off of a long shot from the midfield. Trigger tried to get a touch, but he let go of that. Palace that had to come in to try and get a 50, but Thorngold was first to the ball. No keeper at the back. I think Devin tried to get some boost and then rush back, but he just couldn't get back in time. The ball gets played into Los Verdes, and again, folks, we have 2 minutes and a bit more left. Cauldron are 3-0 up. They're looking very comfortable. They're looking very dominant right now so far. And I think they're just about getting to form at the right time for their upcoming grand final match against Steel Army for the Consolation Tournament Championship. Big clearance out by Palace towards the opposite corner. Devin is following along with this. Can he get a touch? No, he cannot. Palace off the backboard, but Thorngold reads that and clears it away towards Palace, though, who tries to center it, but he puts it towards the net instead. Smitty now brings it out. Good pressure, though, from Trigger. Can he get a second touch? No, he cannot. He lets it go. So does Devin. Backing up. Palace then comes in to pressure. Devin tries to chase, but he just cannot get to the ball first. And I think that's been the struggle for Los Verdes. Anytime they've been trying to speed it up and trying to apply some quick pressure, more often than not, they just need to back off because they're not able to get to the ball early enough. Great bit of rotation, though, from Casey Cauldron. They're just slick and smooth. But at this point, they need to defend right there. Great job by Thorngold. Clearing it out, getting some control, getting the touch past. What are the defensive plays? I think that was Trigger. Devin getting involved defensively, clearing it away just for a second, though, as Smitty flicks it towards the net. Smitty with his second goal as well, and it's 4-0 to Cauldron. That great car control right there, had the composure even when he left the ball the first time. Puts it onto the roof of his Octane, flicks it over Los Verdes. And this is game and set for game one, folks. I don't see Los Verdes even getting a goal, let alone the win at this point. Although a consolation goal would be nice for them, don't get me wrong. But this Cauldron team is looking incredible, and now Serrano announced himself with a mean flick, 62 miles per hour, off of Alan's FangersOnly.com radar gun. Alan, I don't know if you're watching the stream. I don't know if you catch up on these balls, but we love you and miss you, man. If you want to get involved with SGL, commentate once again, feel free to come on over. We always have a spot open for you. Folks, when the Cauldron brings out their big guns in Serrano and Smitty, they are at their absolute best. I mean, we also had Cheeky, who could have gotten involved against EC Defiance recently, but he never really came off the bench. It was just Fudge, Thorngold, and Yep, I believe. But now, with their stronger players, they are getting it goal after goal after goal, and now each KC Cauldron player has a brace. Serrano with a second this time. Can any of these players get a hat trick before game one ends? Let's see. We have 12 seconds to go. As the clock ticks down, this has just been the same old story for Los Verdes. They back off after the kickoff. They basically back off and set themselves in position. Oh, Devin could have had the consolation, but that shot goes off the crossbar, and KC Cauldron win game one in convincing fashion. And look at the dominance right here, folks. 16 shots, 6 goals. And I was wrong. I thought Smitty had a brace along with Thorngold. No, Smitty has the hat trick. Serrano with a brace. Thorngold with one. 3-2-1 right then and there. Meanwhile, Los Verdes has 4 shots only. Los Verdes had fewer shots than KC Cauldron scored goals. I don't know about you, but that's not a good sign. With that said, I don't think this will dishearten Los Verdes too much. I think they'll still just go out there and have a good time. You'd think this trio of Palace, Devin, and Trigger, their possibly strongest trio on paper, would be able to gel and get going. But maybe in game 2 we'll see that come out to the fore. Luis in chat saying, ooh, and then that's a playoff team right there. You know what? If they played Smitty and Serrano more often, yeah, they should have been in the playoffs with that team. You know, but unfortunately for that, they weren't able to get enough playing time out of Serrano due to the schedule. And Smitty hasn't been able to appear too often either, unfortunately. Meanwhile, you have Cheeky, who only played in 1 match. So, I don't know. They've not been able to bring out this very strongest trio, but still, Yep, Thorngold, and Fudge is not a bad team. And you'd think they'd be able to compete better. But we are where we are. This is their chance of redemption. KC Cauldron coming out of game 2. Can they start out strong right here like they did in game 1? We shall see. But as I was saying earlier, this is their chance of redemption. And for KC Cauldron, you know, this Consolation Tournament is the chance for them to show not just everyone else in this community, but themselves that we are still a good team. You know, we're not bad. We're not so bad that we won't make the playoffs, you know? We're not that kind of team. And Serrano is showing us why as he keeps his composure. He gets the first goal. Nice pass there from Thorngold, putting enough pace on that to beat both Palace and Devin. We're going for the same ball. Serrano just had all the time in the world. Didn't even rush to it. Didn't even need any boost. Kept his composure. Tapped it into the back of the net. Making this game look so easy right now. Oh, great 50. Smitty, though, chooses to slow it down. Get a low 50. No chance, though. Trigger is able to break this out. Thorgold, though, keeps the pressure going. At this point, I think Los Verdes just need to start playing some more passes out because they're getting beaten in the 50s. Open that, though. Devin off of the corner. Unfortunate for him. The best chances for Los Verdes have come from Devin, who has put up a big save. Can he follow up? Unfortunately not. Smitty, though, gets the second for Cauldron and the first for himself in this game, too. You know, the more you look at this, the more you think, man, AC Cauldron really should have been in the playoffs. Permamenti in chat, welcome aboard, dude. He asks actually, mercy rule? As Palace makes a great save. We used to have a mercy rule, by the way, a long time ago, back in seasons 2 and 3. Since then, the community has gotten so much better and the game's more competitive that we see no reason to get a mercy rule going. So, we've had score lines where teams have scored 10 or 11, and the game has finished like 11-1, 10-2, and stuff like that. However, we've also had instances where a team led like 6-1, and the game finished 9-6. So, never say never. However, you can't say that when Thorngold gets a shot, he puts it into the back of that beautiful pass. No resistance, no challenges. This is just way too easy. This is free. Free for KC Cauldron. Thorngold puts enough power that not even 2 goalkeepers can stop that shot. And it's 3-0 to KC Cauldron. And folks, we have a lot of playing time left. And Serrano goes in for the 4th. Devin cannot make it. Just like that, folks. Less than 10 seconds after that kickoff, Serrano gets a 4th for KC Cauldron. So bear in mind, Permamenti, we also track stats for all the players. And if we had a mercy rule, it would not be the best reflection of player performances. So, yeah, this does leave us open to stat padding. It does get kind of rough in that regard. But I assure you, it does not happen too often. Just right now, we're seeing a bit of a mismatch because KC Cauldron brought out their 2 strongest players in Serrano and Smitty to play with the stable, reliable Thorngold in the side. And now Serrano comes back in, gets another goal, showing off his fury of fandom off of that goal explosion. 5-0 to KC Cauldron, and we have a whole lot of playing time left, folks. This could get ugly for Los Verdes. And to think that this is happening with their strongest team on paper as well. Ooh. Bit of a rough end to Los Verdes this season, unfortunately. Ooh, I see the pass attempt from Palace, but Devin caught himself going too far. Now Trigger needs to go back and help out. Devin spawns right on time to be able to challenge that. I'm trying to go for it again, but once again he gets beaten, and this is not a good sign for Los Verdes so far. As a shot goes on target, big clutch save from Devin. Once again to no avail. I think that's Serrano's hat-trick or 4th goal. We shall see in a little bit, folks. 58 miles per hour off of the roof of that Octane, clocked by Alan's BangersOnly.com radar gun, as we see the Furia goal explosion once again. Yet another kickoff lost by Los Verdes. You'd think they'd try and change it up just to fool, you know, the Cauldron and see if they can get at least 1 goal. As Smitty's going in, beating 2 players off the dribble, gets bumped away for his trouble. Serrano to Thorngold, and just like that, great team play coming off of the Cauldron at the instant. And you just left wondering, and Luis, I know you're thinking about this as well as someone who's done power rankings for SGL this season. Why could we not see this Cauldron more often? Why could we not see this Cauldron in the regular season? The Cauldron, who were defending champions, who won the league and cup double last season. yet they're here at this Consolation tournament, not even in the playoffs, and you're just wondering, what if? Especially if you're a Cauldron player or a Cauldron support, a Cauldron SG member watching this game, you're thinking, man, this team could have been much further ahead. And for Los Verdes, we talk about teams improving and players improving. We see that from EC Defiance. We see them get a game off of KC Cauldron. Yeah, albeit a weakened Cauldron, but still, they've shown that level of improvement. This Los Verdes team, though, had looked a little stagnant. Thorngold almost having an incredible goal right there. And now we're starting to see some flair come out of this KC Cauldron team as they start to enjoy themselves out in Forbidden Temple. Verdes, though, they just tried so hard to get one meaningful touch, but they just overextend themselves. They're forcing their plays a bit too much, and then they leave themselves open. Great finish from Thorngold after a nice soft touch from Sorado. Thorngold putting it into the opposite end. Triga was just not prepared for that. 8-0 with 70 seconds to go. Still time for Cauldron to get to get 10 goals in total. There's still time for Los Verdes to get one. Thorngold off the crossbar, though. Serrano coming up, trying to follow up. Big 50. This leaves Smitty with a chance. Get a double tap. He gets a double. He cannot get the third, though. Serrano keeps the pressure up. Thorngold gets drawn out. Open net. Can Los Verdes get a goal? Can they finally get it? Yes, they can. And the opening was there. Devin has finally made his shot count. And he finally, after all of his efforts, gets a goal. And even then, there was a touch off of Smitty, but it was to no avail as the power from Devin was able to put that into the back of the net. Can this be the catalyst for Los Verdes to improve their game, to potentially get something, a result of any kind? As Palace dribbles it out, gets a 50 on Serrano. Serrano brings it out comfortably to the opposite end. Now full boost as well. Ball's in the middle. No one's able to follow it up, though, with 30 seconds left. Still have time for a second. The net is open. Devin flicking it up, trying to get it off the backboard, I think, but Smitty brings it out of the backboard himself. Triga with a pass to Palace. Great play right there. Good heads-up play, and it's 8-2 to Los Verdes. But look at that, folks. Some signs of encouragement, some signs of optimism. Great play there by Triga, especially. Beautiful pass. And Palace puts it into the back of the net to get his first goal of this match as well. Fudge, welcome aboard into the chat, dude. And he says, before that goal, Cauldron was outscoring opponents 27-1 in the last 4 games, including last night. Just a quick question, was that including the loss as well against EC Defiance? Just, if you could clear that up for me, that'll help. But folks, KC Cauldron gets game 2. They're very much set to finish at the top. As I said earlier, all they need to do was win 2 games. They have done that. Folks, KC Cauldron is going to finish at the top of the seed, and for the grand final, they will be hosting the server region. No, after the... Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for that context, Fudge. So, they've been outscoring their opponents 27-1 after they lost to Defiance. That just tells you about the level of focus that they were in afterwards and how much better that makes them as a team. When they don't take their foot off the gas pedal, when they're playing in 5th gear, these guys are one of the top teams in SGL. And we're seeing it right here, too. Like, I don't think they're fully extending themselves. They're not looking like they're trying their very hardest, but they are looking very good, that's for sure. Folks, we are in DFH Stadium for Game 3. Let's see who can get the kickoff here, who can get the first goal, and who can get some momentum to win this game. KC Cauldron have a chance to get the sweep and end this night early. Los Verdes have a chance to get 1 game win at the very least, and, at least end their season with a consolation, Sorry about that, folks. I was getting a phone call, so if I was silent, that's why. But Thorgo brings it up from the backboard. No interference, no touch from Los Verdes and Spitty. Look at that play. Didn't even need to jump. He just broke under the ball, cushioned it off of the top of his Octane, and just drives it into the back of the net. Like he has a super soft pillow right there, pushing the ball down. He just drags it away. Much like he's playing Rumble and he gets the spike power up. And this is just looking really rough for Los Verdes right now. In each game, they concede the first goal no, in game 1, it took a while for them to concede the first goal, but in game 2 in this game, they've conceded it very quickly. And, you know, after they won, after they got a couple of goals in that game 2, you'd think that this would help them to, you know, clean up the game a bit, feel a bit more confident in themselves. But it's the same old story right now, folks. Look, KC Cauldron are looking really good right now. They're rotating really well. They're very quick to get out to the ball. Great pass by Thorgold. Smitty's not able to make it, but you can see the understanding develop very quickly between that trio of Serrato, Smitty, and Thorgold. And all these players look like they've been playing together for a while, and I bet you they probably haven't played together for that long anyways. Ooh, Thorgold wanted to get a touch, but he has to bail out, trying to look for a demo. Serrato brings it out from the left. On the ceiling. Gets the first touch, gets a second to pass to Smitty. Smitty, though, cannot get his shot off. Gets challenged by Los Verdes, and that ball gets out. Thorgold tries to follow it up to no avail. Now Devin has a chance to do something with it. To Palace in the middle. Takes a shot, and it goes wide. Serrato with a nice soft touch to build a counterattack. Devin, though, comes in and interferes. Although, there's a double commit from his teammates, and that attack dies right there. It's Devin's turn now to do something with zero boost as the corner boost gets taken away from him. Shot on target. Ooh, that was... I thought that was going to go in, but that came off of the post. Good effort right there. Devin, welcome back. How you doing, man? Hopefully your Christmas shopping is going well. Devin just cannot get those touches going after the first and second touch. Unfortunately for him, he just loses the ball almost instantly, as if he's trying really hard to like make something out of that, you know? And you're seeing a lot of chaos unfold at the back for Los Verdes. Devin eventually clears it off after some nice bit of composure from Palace, despite getting bumped. Trigger with a nice challenge in the middle. Solid defending so far, but at the end of the day, all of that good effort comes to no avail as Palace gets drawn out. And just to get in front of the ball, Serrato puts it into the middle. The Furia goal explosion comes out yet again, folks. 2-0 to Cauldron. The score may be respectable right now, but it's still the same end result. Los Verdes are losing. Los Verdes are, you know, just second bested at everything right now, and Cauldron are looking way, way too good for them. Nice slow play there by Smitty. Oh, he tried to get a bounce air dribble, but he couldn't get out of that. Serrato with a musty challenge. Doesn't get much out of that. Devin pops it up in the air, and the first to the ball is Smitty, playing it back to Thorgold, who wasn't really ready for that. Shot attempt by Palace. Or was that Trigger? I believe that was Trigger, sorry. And now they all need to go back and set themselves up again. Devin plays it out to the midfield, to Serrato, though. And Palace needs to clear this out. Devin does get a second touch. Trigger, though, is at the back of the net. Palace trying to go to the corner. And you have two players back, and that gives Cauldron enough time to bring the ball forward. Thorgold gets the shot off of Serrato's air dribble. And it's 3-0 to Cauldron with 78 seconds to go. And I think it's safe to say, folks, and chat, that this is game, set, and match. As Smitty goes for a fourth off of the crossbar, this ball is still bouncing in front of the line. No one puts it in for the Cauldron, and Trigger clears it out. Yeah, this is game, set, match. Even if, you know, Los Verdes could get a goal, I struggle to see them even getting a win, or having a chance of getting a win right here. And, you know, KC Cauldron have really taken the foot off the gas pedal right here, but the gameplay has been so clean and so slick. And I think Los Verdes gave up in that sequence once they got beaten by Smitty. Great individual play right there. Look at that flip reset. Fooling Palace all together. Incredible individual play. Oh, man. That is Smitty at his best, folks. And Serrato, yet again, 5 seconds after that kickoff, folks. Third goal off of the sidewall. No one is at the back for Los Verdes to deal with this. Fricka having to chase the ball, and Serrato gets easy tap in. 5-0. So have a lot of time for goals. We'll see if Los Verdes can get at least one, but it is all Casey Cauldron at this point. And I think Casey Cauldron probably want to show everyone what they're all about as we enter the grand final. I still think they feel a bit of annoyance about not being able to make the playoffs altogether. They really want to show us what they're all about. They want to prove to themselves that they're still one of the best teams in SGL. And frankly speaking, after this performance, I think it's safe to say they have been performing like a playoff team for sure. And it's one of the best teams in SGL. It just sucks that we haven't been able to see this version of Cauldron consistently throughout this season. But I'm sure that this is a good sign for them for next season and beyond. If they can get their lineup more consistent, they can get their best players playing more often, folks. So we're going trying to get the last lap. Serrato keeps it up. Can Casey Cauldron get one more goal? Smitty, he cannot get it on target, but the ball is still up in the air. Third goal taps it down. And folks, that is it. Game, set, and match. For Los Verdes' final match of the season, they get swept 3-0 by Casey Cauldron. And that about does it for the group stage of the Consolation tournament. I'm just going to update the results real quick, just so we can take a quick look at the final table. And that will be that. We will have our final placements. And thus ends the first stage of the Consolation tournament, folks. Alright, that has been updated. Let's take a quick look at that. I think we already know where every team is placed. I even announced where Casey Cauldron is going to finish. But just for, sake of posterity. Okay, that is not up to date. Whoops, let's go back. Let me fix that real quick. And, yep, okay, now it's fixed. Alright, that's a little bit of an oopsie on my part, but here we go. Final placements. Casey Cauldron, top of the table. Steel Army in second. Emerald City Blue in third. Emerald City Defiance in fourth. And Los Verdes in fifth. These teams have stuck close to their initial seeding, except for Defiance usurping Los Verdes. It was Defiance who finished at the bottom of the regular season. And look at that. Not only have they come up over Los Verdes, they've even got 6 points off of 4 matches. 1 match win and 3 game wins. Incredible from EC Defiance. Great from them to get that improvement. Los Verdes, however, only have 1 game won. And I think that was against EC Defiance as well. Not the way they want to end their season, but it is over for them. They can now sit back, relax, and maybe they might be able to improve for next season, depending on how this goes. Yeah, folks, that about wraps it up. I'm just going to see if there are any interviews real quick, and then we'll see if we need to keep going or if we'll end the stream. But yeah, it's been a great season, hasn't it been, folks? I mean, I know there are not too many of us right now, but I just want to reflect on how this has gone so far. We've had so many teams come in. We've had 11 teams play from the beginning of the season. And, the format that we decided on was to have a regular season and then a 16 playoffs. But as we approach the playoffs, I think Smashley and a couple of other people came in with a great idea to set up a Consolation tournament for the bottom 5 teams, the teams that are not in the playoffs, just so they still have a way to get involved and a way for them to compete against each other for some sort of a prize, some sort of bragging rights, so that they don't have to just sit and watch the playoffs. They can also get involved in some way themselves. And we've had so many matches played. Everyone has been able to schedule something. And folks, we've come to a point where we could say that we have not had a single forfeiture throughout Season 8. And that is just incredible. It's been absolutely incredible that we have not had a single forfeiture. And it's great to see the whole community be involved and be dedicated enough to be able to get their matches played out on time. And I hope they've had fun playing these games out. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting those games in. having a good time and having fun. And even if you get crushed like Los Verdes did, I'm sure they're in good spirits and they're having a good time as well. As for KC Cauldron, I think they're feeling really good right now. This KC Cauldron team can test Steel Army, folks. They can absolutely make it difficult for Steel Army. Devin, I know you're in chat. What have you got to say about that? Because that is an incredible performance by KC Cauldron. Does that scare you? And I know, Bear, you're also in the chat. I've seen your messages. Does this performance scare you too, or do you guys still feel like you can beat them? Whilst we wait for their answers, Luis jumps into the chat and says, they getting swept. Steel Army getting swept? You know, that's not unreasonable. I'll give you that. I was going to say maybe they could get a game, but then again, I said the same about Los Verdes. And, you know, KC Cauldron came up with Thorn, Gold, Serrano, and Smitty, their strongest possible lineup if we don't consider Cheeky's involvement. Nah. Yeah, I think you're right. There's a decent chance that Steel Army are getting swept. Not as likely as Los Verdes was tonight, but a decent chance nonetheless. So I don't think we're getting any interviews. I don't think Steel Army want to tell me if they're scared or not. Maybe they are scared, but they just don't want to give any indication out to KC Cauldron. Who knows? But that about wraps up for tonight, folks. I realized that this was a little later in the night, so I'm really glad to those of you who've been able to make it, at least catch this and, you know, watch this match. Thank you guys so much for coming here and getting involved. Thank you guys for playing in the Consolation Tourney and in the playoffs. Folks, we have 2 more matches left, and they are both grand finals. For the Consolation Tournament, it is between KC Cauldron and Steel Army. And for the playoffs, to determine the SGL Season 8 champion, it is El Matador versus Black Army. There you go, folks. We cannot wait for those 2 matches to be played out. We'll see how they get scheduled, but both of those will get streamed for sure. As for now, though, we're going to end the stream. Have a good night, y'all. Thank you all for joining in and watching this match. We'll see you next time. Peace.